I have to break the news to you as far as the opponent. For I gotta reiterate the information because earlier I was saying that Virgil Ortiz was gonna fight October against Keith One Time Thurman. I said it was 90% official, not official, but 90% sure that he was gonna fight. De La Hoya was gonna get a fight for Virgil Ortiz with Keith One Time Thurman. But I found out the latest news right now from Coppinger himself. He actually reported that October 25th, it's set for Keith One Time Thurman to fight Fundora. So it's not going to be Virgil Ortiz versus Keith One Time Thurman. I guess De La Hoya is not doing his due diligence to get him a fight with Keith One Time Thurman. Maybe the deal fell through because of the money. You know, of course he's going to make more money with Fundora as the champion. And you know, Virgil Ortiz is not really a champion. He's an interim WBC champion. So I know that Keith One Time Thurman has a great relationship with WBC, but the interim championship is not what Keith Thurman wants. He wants to go for the WBC championship with Fundora, and that fight is going to make more sense for both of them because it's going to help Fundora have another established name besides Tim Tszyu. He's going to have a more established name with Keith One Time Thurman. You know, Fundora has to thank Keith One Time Thurman for actually having the belt, because if it wasn't, not completely, but partially he does, because originally Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman were supposed to fight, but Keith Thurman had a bicep injury, so he had to cancel the fight with Tim Tszyu. So then they had a quick replacement with Fundora. They had to replace Keith One Time Thurman and replace him with Sebastian Fundora. So that fight was made between Tim Tszyu and Fundora, and they fought. And then the first fight, Fundora won. It was a bloody fight. And the second fight, he won again from Fundora and knocked him out in the 7th round. And then he quit on his stool. Tim Tszyu quit on his stool. So now it seems like Virgil Ortiz doesn't really have an opponent yet. De La Hoya hasn't confirmed any opponent for him in October, but he's supposed to make a comeback in October. But I feel like Oscar De La Hoya is doing a terrible job in promoting, actually getting him an opportunity for a championship, Virgil Ortiz. I think that De La Hoya is doing a terrible job in getting him a championship fight. I know it's okay that he gives him good fights, competitive fights, but at the same time, you want, you know, Virgil Ortiz to be a champion. So he's getting him good competitive fights for good money, but he's not getting him a championship fight, which is really messed up, because I feel like he's already 27 years old and it's already been a long time in the making. He should have been a champion already. So oh, thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. So I believe that right now Virgil Ortiz is struggling to get a fight. De La Hoya was trying to get Keith One Time Thurman, but Mike Coppinger actually officially announced that a fight between Keith One Time Thurman and Fundora is already set for October 25th. And I read in some other sources, BoxingScene.com, October 18th is the date, but I think that October 25th might be the official date, because I heard it from I read about it from Mike Coppinger himself, and he said October 25th the fight is set for Keith One Time Thurman and Sebastian Fundora to fight. And you know, Keith One Time Thurman pulled out the first time, and Fundora got the opportunity to fight Tim Tszyu instead of Keith One Time Thurman. So then Keith One Time Thurman, he tried to make a comeback, and he got hurt again. So the last fight he had was with Barrios, and he also fought Jarvis. And this year he knocked out Brock Jarvis, I think in the 3rd round. He was 22-1 with 20 KOs from Australia. You know, he had power, but he never fought anybody. But it was a win that, you know, Keith One Time Thurman was supposed to win that fight, and he did what he was supposed to do. He shows that he still has power, Keith One Time Thurman. But this is going to be the first title fight in 6 years that One Time Thurman is going to have in a different division, in the 154-pound weight class. So that's going to be interesting. And I do believe that Fundora's the truth, and it's going to be a tough fight for Keith One Time Thurman. But if he does fight Fundora, I would never count out Keith One Time Thurman. He still has the power. He still has the skills. But he hasn't been active. He hasn't been consistent in the ring. So I feel like that could be detrimental for him. So I'm thinking Fundora will win this fight, but I'm rooting for Keith One Time Thurman. I'm rooting for him. He's 36 years old right now. And he's going to fight Sebastian Fundora. It's official. October 25th. That's what Mike Coppinger said. So let's see if this fight actually takes place October 25th. Keith One Time Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. That is the latest news that I got. And as far as Virgil Ortiz, De La Hoya was trying to get him a fight with De La Hoya was trying to get Virgil Ortiz a fight with this guy. He was trying to get him a fight with. Let's read the comments. Cuban Links. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Carlos Campoamol. What's up, brother, man? I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you. Dom Bigavelli. Cuban Link. Everybody says I look like Cuban Link. Number 2 fan. Arnaldo, say hi. Arnaldo, all my people over here. Thanks for tuning into the channel. But yeah, Virgil Ortiz, Oscar De La Hoya was trying to get him a fight with this guy. He was trying to get him a fight. Arnaldo, saludos, Tony. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. So he was trying to get him a fight with Keith One Time Thurman. Virgil Ortiz, Oscar De La Hoya was trying to working on getting him a fight with Keith One Time Thurman, but it obviously didn't go through. That's the reason why we have Fundora fighting Keith One Time Thurman October 25th. We heard it from Michael Coppinger himself. So let's see if that happens, if that materializes that way. It seems like it's set. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Some people saying some strange things in the comments, so I'm gonna override them. Yeah, thanks for tuning into the channel. So that's the latest. And check out John Paul Rivera. He's gonna fight August 22nd in the Royale, in Orlando Arena, Royale. He's gonna fight him. He's gonna fight John Paul Rivera is gonna fight Bailey. His last name is Bailey. Danielle Bailey. He's 15-3 with eight knockouts. He's very elusive, and he's a great prospect from Puerto Rico. 16-0 with 12 KOs. John Paul Rivera. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to interview him. Get him in one of my interviews. I already interviewed Jankiel Rivera, and I interviewed Abisal Cotto. So tune into those interviews that I did previously in other videos. Check it out. It's a great interview. So yeah, so this is the latest news with Keith One Time Thurman is gonna fight Sebastian Fundora. So whatever I said in the previous video, just disregard it. Because Keith One Time Thurman is not fighting Virgil Ortiz like De La Hoya was trying to do. I said in the previous video that De La Hoya was getting close to making the deal, but it appears to be something that didn't work out. That De La Hoya tried, and De La Hoya was not able to convince Keith One Time Thurman to take a fight with Virgil Ortiz. And I don't blame Keith One Time Thurman, because Keith One Time Thurman, he's not going to make the same amount of money that he's going to make with Sebastian Fundora, and he's not fighting for a world title if he fights Virgil Ortiz, because Virgil Ortiz is the interim WBC champion, not the official champion, not the real champion. He's just, he has the interim WBC. So of course, Keith One Time Thurman, at the stage of his career that he's in right now, he wants to fight for championships. So he's going to fight for a two-time, he's going for his two-time second division world title attempt. That's what he's trying to do. So I wish him the best, Keith One Time Thurman. I think that Keith One Time Thurman is dangerous. He's 36 years old. I don't know if he still got it like the way he did before. But in his last performance, he knocked out Brock Jarvis in the 3rd round. But Brock Jarvis is no Sebastian Fundora. It's another level. So let's see where Keith One Time Thurman is. And I wish him nothing but the best. I'm rooting for Keith One Time Thurman, but I believe that Fundora is gonna beat him. I think he's just, he's young, he's hungry, he's consistent, and he's dangerous, and he's long and rangy and tall, and he does brawl a lot. And I think Keith One Time Thurman could probably use that to his detriment. It'll be detrimental for Sebastian Fundora if he fights reckless with Keith One Time Thurman. But I don't know what Keith One Time Thurman we're gonna get in the ring. So he's gonna have to come determined and hungry. And I believe that Keith One Time Thurman, you can never count him out. But I think Fundora is gonna win this fight. But I hope Keith One Time Thurman wins, because I'm a fan of Keith One Time Thurman. I'm a fan of Fundora too, but I just feel like Keith One Time Thurman, he has my heart. I've been following him for a long time, and I hope he proves the doubters wrong. So that's what I got right now. Tony Also Knows Boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. So that's what I have for now. I just wanted to keep everybody informed. That's the latest. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Arnaldo Nieves, Don Big Belly, number 2. He says Cuban Links. He said I look like Cuban Link. Carlos Campo Amor. What's up, brother, man? What's up, my brother? I just want to shout you out again, Appreciate you for tuning in. Mexi, hi. Mexi says hi. How you doing, Mexi? Thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe to my channel. Tony Also Knows Boxing. Remember, if you're doing boxing content and you are Puerto Rican, but you don't speak Spanish and you struggle with Spanish, give up your job or try to learn more Spanish, because if you don't know Spanish, how are you going to interview your favorite Puerto Rican boxers like Subriel Matias, Yanquiel Rivera, Oscar Collazo, Abisael Cotto? How are you going to interview these people? I can interview them because I speak both languages. I speak Spanish and English. So you content creators out there, if you're not knowing Spanish and you're not really perfecting your Spanish, you ain't going to be able to compete with me. I got love for everybody doing the content creation, all the Puerto Ricans out there doing it. But as far as being able to reach the Puerto Ricans, the boxers, the masses from the island, and the boxers that people want to know about, the prospects from Puerto Rico, and the content creators from Puerto Rico, I'm the one that got the key to the city. Tony Also Knows Boxing, because I speak 2 languages, Spanish and English. I learned Spanish first from my parents. So everybody who's doing content creation out there, but you're not improving in your Spanish, you ain't going to be able to keep up with me. Because I may not have as much followers as you, but I got subscribers on authenticity. I don't spam. I don't try to like clickbait and spam and talk about something that is just because it's popular. I'm going to keep talking about it and stick to one thing, when I can speak about a lot of different things that are taking place, and the boxing prospects in Puerto Rico, the movement, the promotion in Puerto Rico. Universal Promotion is the biggest promotion in Puerto Rico and the most successful for the local Puerto Rican boxers out there. They're doing a great job. We got Abisael Cotto fighting September 12th, and Molusco TV is going to be promoting it as well. He's going to be part of it. And Brian Myers, a reggaeton artist from Puerto Rico, they're going to do like a concert there. So that's bringing a lot of notoriety to the local boxing prospects of Puerto Rico. It's giving them visibility. So that's taking place in September 12th. And they're promoting it on YouTube. So you should check it out whenever you get a chance. It's called Saldando. It's called Saldando. So check it out. It's Abisael Cotto's going to fight on that card. There's going to be a lot of other prospects from Puerto Rico, talented prospects as well. And it's going to showcase Puerto Rican boxing as a whole. And it's helping the Puerto Rican local economy, because it's for the locals. It's not for outsiders taking advantage of the tax exemptions. No. This is actually Universal Promotion helping Puerto Rican boxing and helping the local economy of Puerto Rico. Yes. That's right. So check that out. Thurman has it hard against Fundora. He sure does. Carlos Campo Amor said, number 3, says Thurman has it hard against Fundora. He does. He hasn't been active. He hasn't been consistent. He's been like inactive for a long time, like 3 years. 3 years. Right after he was inactive before that too, and then he hurt his bicep again. And then he lost the opportunity to fight Tim Tszyu. So they promised that the winner of Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora Part 2 will get the the fight with Fundora. So they promised that to keep one-time Thurman. So he's getting the fight, and he was actually at the second fight watching Fundora defeat for the second time Tim Zook. So yes, so that's what's gonna happen, and I feel like boxing in Puerto Rico is growing. It's growing. Unlike what the majority of people are saying in the mainstream, they're trying to say that Puerto Rican boxing is not like it used to be. It is actually growing. If you follow and you speak the language and you know Spanish, you're gonna know that Puerto Rican boxing is flourishing because you actually understand the language, and you can follow Molucco TV, and you can follow Universal Promotion Boxers, which has Abisael Cotto, has a lot of other fighters, coming up in the rankings. So stay tuned for Puerto Rican boxing, Universal Promotion. They're gonna fight September 12th, and they're promoting it all over YouTube. And Brian Myers is gonna do a concert there, and they're kind of like they're doing that to bring more visibility to the boxing prospects in Puerto Rico and help the local economy of Puerto Rico as well. Yeah, so check that out. I interviewed Abisael Cotto, and I also interviewed Yanquiel Rivera, who's fighting for the World Championship this month, the interim WBA, but then he's going to fight the Mexican guy who became the WBC and who beat Kenshiro. He's going to fight him in December. That's what he told me, God willing. But check out the interview. Check out both interviews. Yes, I think he's ready. Thurman has... Okay, look, let me answer you. Carlos Campo Amor, number one. He says, do you think Xander is ready for Virgil? I think the most winnable fight for Xander Zayas is Virgil Ortiz. Fundora, I don't think he's ready for Fundora. I think he's ready for Tim Tszyu. I don't think he's ready for Crawford or Jarambus Ennis. I don't think Xander Zayas is ready for them, but he could prove us wrong. But right now, I think that he's ready for Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, those kind of fights. Virgil Ortiz is limited. If you really look at him, he doesn't have the boxing IQ that Xander Zayas has. So you got to take that into consideration. So I believe that Xander Zayas is probably poison for Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz has the power. You can't take that away from him. But as far as the boxing IQ, he's not hard to hit. And I believe that Xander Zayas could actually run circles around him and look for openings and weaknesses in his game and his defense. He could find a lot of weaknesses in Virgil Ortiz's game. I think Virgil Ortiz is a tremendous puncher. Yes, he's a tremendous puncher. But I don't think that he has the IQ or the footwork that a Xander Zayas has. Xander Zayas is fast, throws a lot of combinations. He has a great IQ. He has great footwork, and I believe he has the proper height. I think that they're almost the same size and height. But I just believe that in boxing, it's not only about power. It's about how you deliver it, how you land it, how you set it up. Throw the jab, the hook, the jab, the hook. How you do it. It's how you set it up. It's good. He's fought better. I'm not saying that that Virgil Ortiz hasn't fought better competition. He has. He's proven himself a lot more than Xander Zayas, but that doesn't mean that he will beat Xander Zayas in a fight, because styles make fights. I just believe the fighters that he's fought, Madrimov, the style that they have is good for him. I think Xander Zayas believes that, Madrimov wasn't at his best. He wasn't the same Madrimov that fought Crawford. That's what Xander Zayas said. So Xander Zayas is saying that he just fought for the money, Madrimov. So I don't know. That could be true. So I just feel like I'm not going to take credit away from Virgil Ortiz, who he's beaten. He's fought the better fighters, and I believe that Xander Zayas has the right style to beat him. I just think that he'll be poisoned for Virgil Ortiz. I think Xander Zayas is poisoned for Virgil Ortiz. That's my opinion. But he's the most winnable fight right now. And that's the most winnable fight that he can make. As far as, he's not a champion. He's an interim WBC champion. So I feel like Xander Zayas is probably going to fight him when he's a champion. I don't think that he's going to fight him when he's still only the WBC interim. I think the boxing business is going to play a significant role in why they don't fight. because that's the same thing that Virgil Ortiz said. He said that he doesn't want to fight Zayas until he gets a belt because it makes more sense when both of them are a champion. So Zayas is gonna do the same thing that he did probably. So I just feel like Zayas is he got room to improve, but the most winnable fight, realistic fight to make is Virgil Ortiz. They might make it. They might make it. I don't know because he's gonna move up in weight after he defends his junior middleweight championship, the WBO. I think he's gonna defend it once, and he's gonna move up to 160. So that is what the news is out there, and I got it from good sources. So yeah, so Virgil Ortiz, we don't know who he's gonna fight in October, but Oscar De La Hoya was trying to get Keith one-time Thurman, but it didn't fall through. It didn't work out. So I guess the leverage with the the championship does help. So Fundora being a champion, actually he's gonna get paid more money for fighting Fundora. Keep one-time Thurman is gonna make more money fighting Fundora than fighting Virgil Ortiz, who's only the interim WBC champion. He's not the real official champion. So yeah, so it's business. Like Fundora versus Keith one-time Thurman is an interesting fight, but I think it's a very dangerous fight for Keith one-time Thurman. He hasn't been active. He hasn't been consistent. But let's see what version of Keith one-time Thurman we get. But I feel like it's just a money grab. It's a big money fight for him. So he wants to take the most money possible. But at the same time, he probably believes that he can do it. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's the news we got right now, man. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Do not be afraid to tune into this channel. This channel is for brave people, people who know how to handle the truth, people who are not afraid to be the best version of themselves. This is the channel for you to be inspired. I'm going to try my best to be inspirational to all of you. Anybody that comes in this channel is my family, and everybody that tries to go against me, content creators that don't know how to speak Spanish and they're Puerto Rican, shame on you. You should learn Spanish because it doesn't give you the flexibility that I have. So I feel like that's going to hurt you if you don't speak the language, because you should be able to reach Puerto Rican boxers that don't know how to speak English, and you should be able to reach content creators like El Filósofo del Boxeo that they speak more Spanish than English. You should be able to speak with them on an even playing field in Spanish if you were real Boricua. So I feel like there's people doing it to start a rivalry, insult the other person. But I don't feel like I need to start a rivalry with nobody because I'm a class O by myself and I'm original. And if a rivalry happens, it's because God wants me to show everybody that greatness is the way I'm doing it. It's not the way other people are doing it. So if I have to defend myself because the content creator feels like I was being disrespectful to them, I'm not being disrespectful to nobody. I just feel like I got to hold everybody accountable because that's what a boxing content creator should do. Should be critically constructive criticism, criticizing constructively. But if you take offense to what I'm saying, then you don't want to improve yourself. I'm just saying, step your game up. If you're doing content creation and you're Puerto Rican and you don't speak Spanish, I feel like you ain't on my level then, because you're not trying to improve yourself with the Spanish. I'm not saying that everybody's gonna speak Spanish the way they should, like me and like people in the island, but at least try to make yourself better and try to learn, because it's never too late to learn. But some people, they just they didn't really graduate from school when it comes to Spanish. Like they just didn't think it was that important. As far as being a Puerto Rican, that is very important. Learning how to speak Spanish is very important if you're Puerto Rican. So if you didn't pass that class and you failed the Spanish class when you was an adolescent, shame on you. You need to step your game up. Get back on your game. That's all I'm saying. But with me, I'm not going to have a problem interviewing the best boxing prospects from Puerto Rico or do a content creation collaboration with somebody from Puerto Rico that speaks Spanish. I'm not going to have issues with that because I love speaking Spanish. I'm speaking English now, but my first language that I learned at home was Spanish. My mother taught me Spanish and my father taught me Spanish. I learned English when I went to kindergarten. Then from there on, English was my language too. But I'm versatile, man. Tony also knows boxing. Keep your Spanish up, man. Maintain your Spanish. If you Boricua, keep it real and learn as much Spanish as you possibly can. If you didn't learn how to learn it, you didn't learn it when you're adolescents, you wasn't really too good in the Spanish department. So that doesn't mean that it's too late for you. You got to try to learn and try to elevate your game and enhance your stature. As a content creator that's Puerto Rican, you should know how to speak Spanish and English. Step your game up. Tony also knows boxing. I got love for everybody, man. I'm just calling it what it is. If you're not speaking Spanish and you're a Puerto Rican content creator, how in the hell are you going to elaborate and reach your people of Puerto Rico that speak Spanish? How are you going to enhance your game? How are you going to be able to communicate on an even playing field with somebody that's from the island, that's a future Puerto Rican boxing champion? How are you going to be able to have access to them if they can't understand you because you only speak English, and you can't understand them because you don't understand Spanish that much? As a Boricua, you got to keep it real and speak both languages. Stay versatile. Don't be one-dimensional. Be triple-dimensional. I may not have as much followers as some of these content creators, but my channel is growing, and it's growing because I'm authentic and I don't have to pretend, and I don't have to like try to clickbait or scam or spam just keep talking about something that's gonna be controversial and it's gonna keep making people come back. I could do that, but if I just do that one thing, I stick to one boxer, Subriel Matias. I mean, it's okay to do a lot of videos of Subriel Matias, but it becomes mundane. It becomes monotone when you keep doing videos of just one boxer. Try to just be more flexible with it. I get it. You know, he's a hot commodity, Subriel Matias, and I got respect for everybody out there doing content. But if you don't speak the language, you need to step your game up and make it better so your channel could get more views and your channel could be more respected. My channel's growing, but it's growing because I'm authentic and I'm not afraid to be the best version of myself. I go hard for what I believe in, and I also have music on all major platforms. Tony also, you can check out my music on Spotify, YouTube, and I like to be unapologetically honest, and I feel like there's not a lot of people like that, and I'm here for growth. I want all of us to grow, all us content creators, but let's build a community where we can hold each other accountable and nobody gets offended. It's just being real, you know what I mean? Like, we just making each other better. But I'm just letting you know, I'm going to creep up on everybody. A lot of people that think that, that they slept on me because I know I inspired a certain content creator, and I got nothing but love for that person. I love what he's doing. But I feel like he's not acknowledging me because now he's really grown, and I congratulate that brother. But I'm going to creep up on everybody that underestimated me and that undermine me and try to act like I don't exist. You know, I shout them out on my channel, but they don't want to shout me out. But it's all good because at the end of the day, I'm original. I'm going to stand out regardless because I don't have to cater to what everybody wants you to do. I cater to what the people want because it's real and because that's the way I feel comfortable doing it. Me being authentically the best version of myself unapologetically. So if that's the crowd that I'm reaching, that's the crowd that's subscribed to my channel. That's the crowd that's going to subscribe to my channel, and that's the crowd that resonates with my message. So those are the people that I like. I don't like people that are fake. I don't know how to lie. So I feel like the truth will set you free. It may hurt you, especially those content creators that probably get offended because I said they got to learn Spanish. If they're Puerto Rican and they don't know Spanish, they got to learn Spanish because they're not going to have the same reach that I have. And it doesn't matter the amount of reach. It's my reach is going to be authentic. Like the reach that they have, they may have more subscribers, but my reach is going to be catering to my goal to reach out to the Puerto Rican people and the movement of Puerto Rican boxing. I'm helping the boxing prospects that are coming out of Puerto Rico and giving them a platform, and they're going to give me a platform, and I'm reaching out to my people first, my Puerto Rican people, and I got love for everybody. You know, it don't matter what race you are, but I want to expand my horizons and speak Spanish in interviews, do Spanish videos as well, and English too. I don't want to limit myself to one language. I want to reach everybody that needs to hear the truth and to hear my content. This is for everybody. I got love for everybody. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Subscribe to my channel. Tony also knows boxing. You're tuning into my channel. Peace. Take that as a lesson. Don't take that as a curse. Take it as a lesson and a blessing, not a curse. The ones that are first, the ones that are last will be first. I'm gonna be first because I'm humble and I'm just calling it for what it is. Subscribe to that channel. Tony also knows boxing.